Good evening, all of you. Welcome to the PYQ session of ophthalmology. I hope my audio video is okay. Welcome to the Hello guys. Welcome to the ophthalmology session. Good evening everyone. And how are you guys? How is your preparation going on? Hi Ankit, Shaika, Tanvi, Srinivasan. So, are you ready for the ophthalmology PYQs? And they are most important no matter how many times you have done, they will be important. And please see that whatever PYQs we are doing, we will try to discuss it as a topic. You have to do the topics as a whole because question may not repeat as it is, but topic will definitely repeat. Can't see. Good evening. Very good, excellent preparation. PDF, I won't be able to give you. There is some problem in Microsoft and my iPad is not making the PDF. So, okay, pardon me for that. Beforehand, I am telling you, PDF will not be there. And you have the questions and you can write. And if you have already done the OFTA with me, you have the notes. You can mark them there also. All right. So shall we start, guys? The first question, elderly patient is presenting with worsening of far vision with the progressive improvement in the near vision. Now, elderly patient hai and worsening of the far vision. So that means this is indicative of myopia. Worsening of the far vision is indicative of myopia, and progressive, there is improvement in the near vision also. Now, when I talk about the diminution of vision in an elderly patient, we know most common cause is cataract. And mostly we will have two kind of cataracts. One is the nuclear cataract and one is the cortical cataract, right? Now here they are saying that there is a improvement in the near vision. That is a characteristic of nuclear cataract. In the nuclear cataract, we have increase in the refractive index. Due to increase in refractive index, this patient will develop the myopia. Cortical cataract may decrease in the refractive index and therefore this patient will develop the hypermetropia. Now here there is a improvement of the near vision. There is a diminution of the far vision. That means it's going with the myopia. Myopia means nuclear cataract. Now, when I talk about the nuclear cataract, that is the nuclear sclerosis. And we all know in nuclear sclerosis, we have the index myopia. So, this question had come up last year, and this is called as the second sight. A very, very important concept. We have done this in classes, in the one shot, in the vibe, everywhere. And if they have not given you the image, then also we can do this question, but here they have given you the image. You can see this one is the cornea here and this is the lens, right? Now lens के center में, this is the lens, biconvex is the lens, lens के center में we have the golden brown pigment. We have the golden brown pigment deposition. This pigment deposition will lead to the nuclear sclerosis and index myopia. So whole of the nuclear cataract with index myopia with the second sight is very, very, very important. You can keep on noting the first important thing is second sight. And afterwards just revise the second sight as a whole. Okay. If you want to write the topics, write the second sight. First one is the second sight. So if this is done, keep on giving me the thumbs up after every question so that we can quickly move on to the next one. And if there is a doubt, we can solve that also, right? So moving towards the second one. Now we cannot forget this. Who will tell the name of this baby? Diagnosis from the given image. So they have not written it, but this image was there with the photophobia and the lacrimation are famous question. Photophobia hai and the lacrimation is there. What is this? I want each one of you to comment in the comment section so that we are doing it in a quiz way and you are able to know how many questions at random spontaneously mein you are able to give the answer in your PYQs. Yes, Bablu. So you are very, very correct. He is the Bablu. So they had said that Bablu is coming with the photophobia and the lacrimation. Then you can see we have the bilateral involvement here. Then you can see we are having hazy cornea. Hazy cornea is there. And this inferior limbus is not visible beneath. So therefore it's a megalocornea also. Therefore, megalocornea. So this baby is having the photophobia. This baby is having the lacrimation, bilateral involvement hai. Then we have hazy cornea, we have megalocornea, and also we have the blue sclera. Blue sclera is also there. All these things. हाँ, बबलू नीला नहीं दिख रहा है. That is a problem here, and I think this is the image problem. Okay, it should be blue sclera will be there in the image. So by all those sorts, the answer is the congenital glaucoma. So again a Bablu question बहुत important है. Not only because it's a previous year NEET question, but also because it was asked just now in the NSET paper also. And that time it was asked in the other way around that the baby is coming with the photophobia and the lacrimation. Which of the following cannot be the reason? So in that case, our answer was different, but congenital glaucoma was there, and we know one of the causes for the watering is the congenital nasolacrimal duct obstruction. Dacryocystitis will be there, and glaucoma is also the reason. So it's important. Bilateral hai, blue eyes hai, blue sclera hai. Vox triad. Vox triad, no. Here you are not getting the Vox triad. Vox triad is found in acute congestive glaucoma. Okay, beware, here you get the Harp stria. Here you get the Harp stria, very, very important, and you have to remember that we have H for Harp and H for horizontal. Here you are getting the horizontal striations. Here we are getting the horizontal striations. H for half hai, H for horizontal striations hai. V for warped is equal to V for vertical striations. These are found in the keratoconus. Vertical striations are found in keratoconus. And third important thing is that we have Vox triad. That is the third thing. Vox triad is found in the acute congestive glaucoma. So there should not be any confusion. H for ab hai, H for horizontal hai. That is found in congenital glaucoma. V for Vogt, V for vertical. That is found in keratoconus. And Vox triad is found in the acute congestive glaucoma. Is that clear? So give me the thumbs up for the second question. If the second question is okay, then give me the thumbs up. We are reaching towards the third question. Again, this is the iconic question, and I had already predicted this question last year on the Wilson's disease that this question is going to come. So here we have a golden brown pigment deposition which is seen around the iris. Which test will be used? So what is this golden brown pigment deposition? This is actually the KF ring. This is the KF ring which is found in the Wilson's disease. Which is found in the Wilson's disease, right? And Wilson's disease may we have the copper deposition. We have copper deposition. This copper deposition takes place in the alloy form. Copper deposition in the alloy form, and that is why the type of cataract that is found here is the sunflower cataract. The type of cataract is sunflower cataract. Also here you have to do the serum ceruloplasmin level, because this Wilson's disease is actually associated with the low levels of the ceruloplasmin. It is associated with the low levels of ceruloplasmin. This was again a PYQ of NEET PG 2018. A PYQ of NEET PG 2018. This is associated. And talking about the KF ring. So this is reversible on the treatment. It is in the superior and the inferior quadrants of the cornea. First, it is found in the superior and inferior quadrants of the cornea. It could be something like this, something like this. Afterwards, it will come like this and like this. In the superior inferior quadrants of the cornea. And if I talk about the disease, here we have hepatolenticular degeneration. Hepatolenticular degeneration is found in the patients of the Wilson's disease. So that means with the hepatic involvement and with the CNS involvement, both you can get the KF ring. Hepatic involvement may you get about 50 to 55% people getting the KF ring, and in the lenticular involvement, that is in the CNS involvement, 90 to 95% will get the KF ring. 90 to 95% KF ring. So please see, if you have understood, keep on giving me the thumbs up. We have done with the Wilson's disease. And one thing I am telling you, that for this year, keratoconus is important. Last year, Wilson's disease aaya tha. For this year, keratoconus is very important. Then K for Krukenberg spindles. K for Krukenberg spindles. These are also important. We have keratoconus, we have Krukenberg spindles, and also we have the sympathetic ophthalmitis. This is again important for this year. Sympathetic ophthalmitis is also important for this year. Keratoconus hai, Krukenberg spindles hai, sympathetic ophthalmitis hai. All this important for this year. Then next question, we are having a 8-month-old boy who is coming with progressive weakness, the decreased visual attentiveness, exaggerated response. He was born at 38 weeks of gestation, hai, no perinatal complications, unremarkable history, and we are having no hepatosplenomegaly. Now, because we are having no hepatosplenomegaly, therefore it cannot be the Niemann-Pick disease. And we are also having the cherry red spot. So this is a typical case of the Tay-Sachs disease. So whole of the cherry red spot, as I always say, DD is very important. You can have any question related to this cherry red spot. And what is the typical DD? Typical DD here is, we have cherry trees never grows tall in the mud and the sand. Cherry trees never grows tall in the mud as well as the sand. Cherry mein we have the CRAO, then T for the Tay-Sachs disease. Tay-Sachs disease, then N is the Niemann-Pick disease. Niemann-Pick disease is there. Then we have G for gangliosidosis. Gangliosidosis is there. Then T for trauma. Here we are having the blunt trauma. Then we have mud. Mud is the metachromatic. It is the metachromatic leukodystrophy. Metachromatic leukodystrophy, and then is the S is the Sandhoff disease. This will be the send-off disease. So whole of this DD is important, and especially this blunt trauma also. Blunt trauma will cause the Berlin's edema. This Berlin's edema is found in the macula. Very, very important. And though this question was there last year, guys, but somehow there can be again the question related to the cherry red spot. So this time they can ask you about CRAO, they can ask you about RAPD, they can give you a clinical scenario, Holland-Horst plaques hai, thromboembolism hai, treatment hai, anything related to that also you can have, anything related to that. Is that clear? Shall we move to next question, guys? So now a patient is coming with the gradual decrease in the vision with the myopia. A patient with history of gradual decrease in the vision presented to you. So there is a gradual decrease with myopia. They have already written. I think there is some problem here in the language of the question. First, see the next question now. A baby is coming with this kind of eye since the time of birth. So what is the most likely cause of this? So important thing is that this is a baby. Now because it's a baby, it cannot be a pingicula and pterygium. These are the degenerative conditions, guys. These are the degenerative conditions, and degenerative conditions will occur in elderly age group more than 60 years of age, bilateral, symmetrical or asymmetrical. So it's not the pingicula and pterygium. If I would have said that this is an elderly person, then we can say. Acha. Now talking about the corneal cirrhosis. It's not in the cornea. So it is not a corneal cirrhosis. It is in the conjunctiva. You can see it is in the conjunctiva. So I could say, no, even this is also not a very good option, and sometimes because these questions are based on recall memory, so either it should not be a baby, then answer is the pingicula. If it is occurring in the elderly patient, then in that case we can have the pingicula. Answer as the pingicula. But if it is a baby only, then you have to say that it's a bitoid spots. Then in cases of the baby, we can have the bitoid spots due to the vitamin A deficiency, and these bitoid spots are on the conjunctiva. They are on conjunctiva. Here none of the options are very appropriate because lipodermoid. I have shown you the images also in classes. Lipodermoid, when I say, then this is always present at the lateral canthus. Lateral canthus or the outer canthus pe hoga. While if you are having a swelling just at the limbus, then it's a dermoid. So I have told you all the options, though here the answers are not there, okay? And you could have gone, if the baby word if I remove, then the answer would have been pingicula, but somehow here baby is written. And it's written since birth also, then I would say that it's a congenital anomaly. I would like to go with the lipodermoid, but this is not the most common position of the lipodermoid, and usually they are present at the lateral canthus. Appearance wise, it looks like a pingicula, but pingicula will not be present in the newborns, right? Is that okay, guys? Please keep on commenting. Please see, this is again our classroom image. Identify the stain. This I have told you in the class. Identify the stain and the filter. Who will answer this? Name of the stain and the name of the filter. You can tell me what is this also. These are the dendritic ulcers. These are the dendritic ulcers which are characteristic of the herpes simplex virus. These are the characteristic of herpes simplex virus, and you have the tree-like arborizing pattern here, something like this. We have got the floor and we have the knobs also. These are the knobs and this is the floor. Here, this is the floor, and these are the knobs, right? So here, the dye which is used is the fluorescein dye with the cobalt blue filter. Fluorescein dye hai, cobalt blue filter hai. What are the other important things? Other important thing is that steroids are contraindicated. Steroids are contraindicated in this stage. Lateral and medial canthus, how to differentiate? So in this one, you cannot see. Actually, क्या है? I will tell you what I am trying to say. Lateral and medial canthus नहीं होता. Then they will show you the swelling exactly at the canthus levels. I will show you what I am trying to say. Just a second. ये देखो. So here you can easily see. Sahana, you can easily see this is the outer canthus. So this swelling is actually the lipodermoid. This swelling is the lipodermoid which is present at the lateral canthus. You can see, they will show you whole of the eye. While if you see this swelling, this is a dermoid. When it is present at the limbus, then this is called as a dermoid. Okay. इसका कोई डिफरेंशियल भी है क्या? किसका किसका डिफरेंशियल पूछ रहे हो? विभू और ये हो गया. स्टीरॉइड्स यहाँ पे कॉन्ट्राइंडिकेटेड है, अदरवाइज दे कैन लीड टू द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द अमीबॉइड अल्सर्स और द ज्योग्राफिक अल्सर्स हो सकते हैं. डेंड्रिटिक अल्सर्स का डिफरेंशियल स्यूडोडेंड्राइट्स ही होता है. स्यूडोडेंड्राइट्स में यू विल हैव समथिंग लाइक दिस, देन वी विल हैव नो नॉब्स. अगर नो नॉब्स हैं, देन दीज आर कॉल्ड एज द स्यूडोडेंड्राइट्स or the pseudodendritic ulcers, that is called as the pseudodendrites or pseudodendritic ulcers. These will be present in herpes zoster में as well as in the acanthamoeba. These are present in the herpes zoster as well as the acanthamoeba keratitis. ठीक है. तो डेंड्रिटिक अल्सर का जो डिफरेंशियल होता है, दैट इज अ स्यूडोडेंड्रिटिक अल्सर्स. देन द नेक्स्ट वन, a 65-year-old diabetic patient is coming. 65-year-old diabetic patient is coming with the cataract. What is the most likely diagnosis? So here image is थोड़ा सा less clear. Here we have something like this. इस तरह का था. So this was the immature cataract, and we are doing the phacoemulsification with the IOL, where we can see the pseudodendrites. So I have told you pseudodendrites are these one. They are seen in the herpes zoster and acanthamoeba. herpes zoster में मिलेगा, acanthamoeba में मिलेगा. श्योर शॉर्ट्स में बताती जा रही हूँ. एक केराटोकोनस मैंने बताया, और क्रूकनबर्ग स्पिंडल्स, पिगमेंटरी ग्लोकोमा बता दिया, सिंपैथेटिक ऑफ्थल्माइटिस बता दिया, चेरी रेड स्पॉट बता दिया, डायबिटिक रेटिनोपैथी. ठीक है, इज दैट क्लियर? नेक्स्ट ये वाला, इसमें तो कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है. हियर यू कैन सी वेट शेप्ड अल्सर्स, पेरिफेरल ओपेसिटीज हैं, therefore it's a cuneiform, and cuneiform is common in the senile, while diabetes में common होता है pre-senile. Diabetes में common is the pre-senile cataract. Diabetes में we have the pre-senile cataract. Then the next one, following conditions is not seen in the optic disc in the glaucoma. So you have to see the optic disc changes. Another important question is the triad of the primary open angle glaucoma. The short questions for the upcoming examination. One important thing is the triad of the primary open angle glaucoma from the intraocular changes, IOP, intraocular pressure, optic disc changes and the visual field defects. You may get one question. So If you see here, the answer is the nasal step. Nasal steps is found in the visual field defects and not in the optic disc changes. It is seen in the visual field, so it is important. You should know about the tonometers, you should know about the optic disc changes, you should know the visual field defects. Visual field defects का mnemonic है in corona BP should be doubly tested. In corona, BP should be doubly tested. Doubly is there, and then we have tested. Tested is 2 times like this. In corona, this is the isopter contraction. This is the isopter contraction है. Then bearing of the blind spot. P for paracentral. Then S for Siddle's. Then we have Jerome scotoma, which is also called as Arcuate scotoma. The order is again important, guys. And then we have doubly. Doubly say we have double arcuate. This is the double arcuate scotoma, and with both you will get the nasal step. This one. And finally, T for the tunnel vision. T for tunnel vision, and also T for temporal field. Temporal visual field is last to go. This whole of the order is important. Please remember it. Then it is a DD of the tubular vision also. And it's the temporal visual field which is last to go. This is also a PYQ. Temporal visual field last to go is also a PYQ. हाँ, बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन नहीं है, लेकिन हाँ ऑप्टिक डिस्क चेंजेस नहीं है, ठीक है. बायोनेटिंग साइन आपको ऑप्टिक डिस्क में मिलता है, इंक्रीज सीडी रेशो कपिंग वहां पर मिलता है, बेयरिंग ऑफ द ब्लाइंड स्पॉट वहां पर मिलता है. नेजल स्टेप नहीं मिलेगा, वो विजुअल फील्ड डिफेक्ट में है, तो इतनी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है विभूस में. फिर ये देखो, व्हाट इज द मोस्ट लाइकली लीजन. पेशेंट कैन नॉट सी राइट विजुअल इमेजेस फ्रॉम बोथ द आईज. right half of the visual field. Right half of the visual fields in both the eyes. So when it is right half of both the eyes, that means it is right homonymous. Right homonymous hemianopia. Right homonymous hemianopia है. Homonymous, so homonymous means it is the optic tract, and optic tract किस side का? It's always contralateral, so right side है, therefore left optic tract, therefore answer हो जाएगा left optic tract. Again visual field effects can come again also, guys, because it's a very important topic. Every single time one question is always coming. This time you can get the pie in the sky and the pie in the floor. Pie in the sky, pie in the floor पर question आ सकता है, as well as on the macular sparing. Two important questions है, either pie in the sky, pie in the floor, or it's the macular sparing. Or it's the macular sparing. Pie in the sky, pie in the floor, or the macular sparing important है. If I talk about the optic chiasma will give me bitemporal hemianopia. This will give me bitemporal hemianopia. Optic radiation say we will have pie in the sky, pie in the floor. Yes. तो इसमें दो important questions हैं which you can get in 2024, pie in the sky, pie in the floor from the optic radiation से या फिर visual cortex से you can get the macular sparing. Again contralateral होगा. Now pie in the sky, sky means it is the superior quadrantopia, floor means inferior quadrantopia. Superior quadrantopia is found in the temporal lobe lesions, inferior quadrantopia is found in the parietal lobe lesions. Like this. Then the next one, a diabetic patient is coming with lot of hemorrhages hai, neovascularization hai. What is the treatment? So if I talk about the diabetic retinopathy and neovascularization is there, neovascularization is the hallmark feature of the PDR, right? What is the hallmark of NPDR? NPDR ka hallmark is the microaneurysms. It is the microaneurysms, while the hallmark of the neovascularization is the PDR. And for this PDR, what we are going to do is the PRP. So answer is the PRP, where we can do pan-retinal photocoagulation. Pan-retinal photocoagulation we can do in the patients of the PDR. Again, an important topic is diabetic retinopathy. This is again there, and definitely you will have one question on the diabetic retinopathy also. Okay, so keep on noting down, and in the last share the list so that I can give to other people also, and everyone, each one of you will be benefited. Okay, please accumulate all these topics that I am predicting. Next question है sympathetic ophthalmitis पे, and again sympathetic ophthalmitis will come this year too. Sympathetic ophthalmitis पे there was a question in 2020, 2022, and again we are expecting one question in 2024. Here they are saying that history of penetrating trauma, diagnosis of sympathetic ophthalmitis. So which kind of uveitis it is? It is a kind of pan-uveitis. Everything about sympathetic ophthalmitis is important. It is occurring due to the trauma of the ciliary body. It is occurring due to the trauma of ciliary body. Now this trauma can be penetrating trauma or it can be perforating trauma. So one is the trauma eye here, and then this inflammation can go into the other eye. So this trauma eye is called as the exciting eye, other eye is called as the sympathizing. This is called as the sympathizing eye, and usually it is 4 to 8 weeks time in which it is going to the other eye, and because it is affecting the ciliary body, so you can have the diminution of accommodation. It will have a problem with the accommodation, and in the signs you will have the retrolental flare. We will also have the retrolental flare. Now if I go with the treatment of the sympathetic ophthalmitis, treatment के लिए you have to first save the trauma eye. I am trying to save the trauma eye. We can give the medical treatment, we can give the steroids, and if the steroids fail, okay, if steroids fails, and in that case we can do the enucleation. Then in that case we can do the enucleation. Okay, so this is again an important topic. Sympathetic ophthalmitis is an important topic, and that is why I have described it as a topic whole of it. Then this is again, this image has been included in your workbook also. We have done this image many times in the class 2. In the class 2, what is this? Treatment of the opposite eye. So sertraline, first of all, we are trying to save the first eye so that it is not spreading to the other eye. If once it has spread to the other eye, treatment will remain same. There also we have to do the steroids. If it fails, then finally we will have to do the enucleation, but we don't want to enucleate even the main eye. We want to conserve it, we want to save it. So this is your pseudo exfoliation syndrome. And that is why I have told you for this year we have important one, the pigmentary glaucoma. For this year, the important one is pigmentary glaucoma, where you can have the Krukenberg spindles. Here you have seen this is the debris. This is the debris in the trabecular meshwork that is there, that can cause the trabecular blockade. And due to the trabecular blockade, we will have the secondary open angle type of glaucoma. Due to the trabecular blockade, we can have secondary open angle type of glaucoma. No prophylactic treatment, guys. For sympathetic ophthalmitis, no prophylaxis. Then the next one, again, this we have done in the workbook, and I have told you why this is not the staphyloma. You can see the ectasia, right? You can see the black appearance. So therefore, it is a case of scleromalacia perforans. Sclero means scleritis, malacia means thinning. है ना? Perforance will occur in cases of necrosis, because this occurs in the case of the, it occurs in the necrotizing. This occurs in the necrotizing kind of the scleritis. It occurs in the necrotizing kind of the scleritis. Coloboma means the absence of tissue. Here you have no absence of the tissue. Therefore, it's not a coloboma. Malignant melanoma say we have ERD, exudative retinal detachment. Therefore, it's not the malignant melanoma. And staphyloma may we have ectasia of the outer coat. Ectasia of the outer coat of the eyeball. Therefore, it is not a staphyloma also. So, you can see here, this time you can have a question on staphyloma. Last time there was a question on scleromalacia perforans. This time you can have a question on staphyloma. Then what is this? This is actually the intacs, and intacs are given for the keratoconus. And I told you for this year keratoconus important है. किसका treatment? Scleromalacia perforans का. All kind of the scleritis में we have to give the steroids only. It's a deeper inflammation. Steroids ही देना है. These are the intrastromal corneal ring segments. Intrastromal corneal ring segments. These are the intacs. Intrastromal corneal ring segments are the intacs. NPDR and hypertension retinopathy. Okay, once we have done this, or I think we will get some question also related to this, definitely I will tell you. Okay, Sahana? Then, coming to the next one, the patient is coming with the diminution of vision in dim light. So that means this is a night blindness. We are having diminution of vision in the dim light. And also we are having the dry eyes and rough corneal surface. Dryness है, xerosis है, rough surface है, child है. So that means it's a vitamin A deficiency. Therefore, it's a vitamin A deficiency, and the answer is the retinoic acid. For the expected topics, I'll take a separate session discussing about the important topics. Okay, this time we are just discussing the PYQs, and I am giving you the expected topics. Okay, so there is a limited scope of one session. In this session we are going to do, I can keep one more session where I will be discussing about these topics. Then so this again we have done so many times in class. Thin built hair, lens subluxation, long fingers. But before you are thinking that this is a Marfan syndrome, here we are also having deficiency of cystathione synthetase. So When you are having a deficiency of cystathione synthetase, that means it's a homocystinuria. And always remember that homocystinuria and the Marfan syndrome both can have same clinical features, only the type of subluxation is different. Here we have inferonasal kind of subluxation, and because of the absence of the enzyme, this enzyme acts on the methionine. Okay, from the methionine it gets converted into homocysteine, homocysteine says cysteine, right? And because we are not having the enzyme, so this amino acid is not made, so which should be supplemented is obviously the cysteine. But so another important thing is that if they are asking that what should not be given, so in that case your answer will be the methionine. This should not be given because we do not have the enzyme to metabolize the methionine. So methionine should not be given. What should be given is the cysteine. That is there. Then next है, this is a case of myopic astigmatism है, non-compliant for glasses. So what can be prescribed? Now try to understand, this patient is non-compliant for glasses. So ideal is that we can go for the refractive surgery, but look at the age of the child. Age is less than 18 years. So all the surgeries are contraindicated. These are contraindicated in less than 18 years. You cannot do the surgery below 18 years, and that is why the answer is just give the spherical corrections. Okay, so whenever we are talking about the refractive surgeries, we are using the excimer laser. There we are using the excimer laser, and excimer laser most common is the argon fluoride. Most common is argon fluoride hai 193 nanometer. The mechanism of action will be the photoablation. Mechanism of action is photoablation. And what are the prerequisites? What are the prerequisites that we have to see? So you have to see that the age should be more than 18 years. Age should be more than 18 years. Then we should also have the stable refraction. Stable refraction should be at least for 1 year. That should be there. Then number 3, if I talk about the corneal thickness, so there should be some minimum corneal thickness, at least 450 microns, because you have to raise the flap, you have to do contouring on cornea. So 150 microns the flap we have to raise. Flap is about 150 microns, and residual bed, जो bed है residual, that is 250 microns. So total makes 400. So it should at least be 450, so that we do not have the risk of corneal perforation. And then we should also have the healthy corneas. We should also have the healthy corneas. There should not be any disease in the cornea. That is also important. Healthy cornea with no disease. Next question. This is the same one, diminution of vision on the right halves of both the eyes. Right homonymous hemianopia ka answer is the left optic tract. This we have done. Next question. We are having a child with the whitish pupillary reflex showing the winter Steiner rosettes also. So I think there is no confusion in this question. Retinoblastoma hai. टॉपिक सेशन कब रखोगे मोस्ट प्रोबेबली? जल्दी ही रखूंगी, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली इट हैज टू बी डन एज अर्ली एज पॉसिबल. राइट नाउ आई डू नॉट नो द डेट, बट आई ट्राई टू कीप इट अर्ली. What if we can do this on Instagram? Also, we can do it instead of doing on YouTube. What do you think? तो whitish pupillary reflex है ल्यूकोकोरिया. ल्यूकोकोरिया हो गया, इन्यूक्लेशन कर दिया है, फ्लेक्स ऑफ इंटेस्टिनल रोजेट है, चाइल्ड्स मोस्टली 1.5 years, सो इट इज रेटिनोब्लास्टोमा. आई थिंक इसमें कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है. अब इसमें यू शुड नो कि दिस retinoblastoma has first most common sign. First most common sign is the leukocoria. Then the second is the squint. While the third is the glaucoma. First is the leukocoria, second is the squint, third is the glaucoma. And we also have the trilateral retinoblastoma. We also have okay. Trilateral retinoblastoma is actually bilateral retinoblastoma. Along with this, we have the pinealoblastoma. Along with this, we have pinealoblastoma. Treatment. Yeah, so treatment के लिए you have to see what type of retinoblastoma it is. If it is unilateral and less than 10 mm, if it is unilateral है, less than 10 mm है, I can just destroy the tumor by cryo or laser. And if it is unilateral and more than 10 mm, unilateral more than 10 mm, then we can go with the enucleation. And if it is number 3 bilateral, bilateral के लिए we can do chemotherapy में we have VEC regimen. VEC regimen में we can give the vincristine है, then etoposide, and then also the carboplatin. This is again important. ये भी एक PYQ है 2019. Okay. All right, guys. Let's move to the next. So again, 1 month baby with watering है, megalocornea है. This is again a question on ophthalmos that we have done. The BPL card हो गया, hazy cornea, megalocornea. ये वाला फिर से बबलू है. इसमें देखो, इस बबलू में आपको ब्लू स्क्लेरा भी दिखाई दे रहा है. You can see very clearly we have blue sclera, we have hazy cornea, and we also have the megalocornea. तो इसमें किसी को कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट पे चलते हैं. अब इसको देखो ध्यान से. व्हेन वी आर हैविंग द हिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉन्टेक्ट लेंस यूज, ठीक है, तो कितनी बार आएगा बबलू, बहुत ही फेमस है, बहुत बार आता है. तो जब भी आपको कॉबल स्टोन पैपिला दिखेगा तो कंफ्यूजन होता है कि वेदर इट्स अ वर्नल केरेटोकंजंक्टिवाइटिस या इट्स अ जाइंट पैपिलरी कंजंक्टिवाइटिस. तो जब भी आपको कोई ना कोई एलर्जी का source मिल रहा है, whenever you are getting something which is causing the localized allergy, that can be contact lens, it can be any sutures, or it can be any prosthesis. ठीक है, so in that case it is actually the giant papillary conjunctivitis. In that case it's a giant papillary conjunctivitis है. One of the papillae you can see will be large, and giant papillary में it will be more than 0.3 mm. Giant papillary conjunctivitis होगा where papilla is larger than 0.3 mm. While if they are saying कि it is common in males है, young age group है, और we have itching, we have ropey discharge. Itching हो गया, ropey discharge है, and and you are also having what you called as typical type 1 hypersensitivity reaction with the exogenous allergy. Then you will say that it's a vernal keratoconjunctivitis. So yes, it's a image based session nahi hai, but the thing is that most of the images, most of the questions are image based in ophthalmology, and I'm trying to tell you that when it is a image, how to identify, because many a times the image of vernal keratoconjunctivitis and the giant papillary conjunctivitis looks very similar. So you will have to see that what is the theory. In ophthalm, you have to see the image and then you have to correlate with theory and then give the final answer. So I am telling you that that most of the times, you know, what is the confusing thing, I'm directly talking about this, because otherwise if this image comes with all these things, then the answer would have been the vernal keratoconjunctivitis, and this is common in hot and humid climate. common in the hot and humid climate, but the same image along with the contact lens use, that will be your giant papillary conjunctivitis. Is that clear now, अजीत? अच्छा है ना, डबल मजा है, इमेज बेस्ड भी हो रहा है, पीवाईक्यू भी हो रहा है, इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स भी हो रहे हैं। अब ये देखो, here you are having elderly female है with a gradual painless diminution of vision, and they are giving you 4 things: diabetes, hypertension and CRBO. अब यहाँ पर क्या दिख रहे हैं, ये exudates हैं, and we are having the gradual and painless diminution of vision. Now the diminution of vision, if I talk about hypertension and diabetes, it is more common in diabetes. Diabetes may you get the hard exudates. And that is why the answer will be here, the hard exudates in the diabetic retinopathy. And first of all, if you look at this, there are no hemorrhages. You can see here that there are no hemorrhages here, so this is wrong. And CRVO mein to you get lot of hemorrhages. You are getting the lot of hemorrhages, that is the splashed tomato appearance. Here you are getting the splashed tomato appearance, lot of hemorrhages, and therefore also, yes, and therefore you can say कि it's a hard exudates in the diabetic retinopathy. And dirty fundus, exactly, D for diabetes and D for dirty fundus है. Dirty fundus का मतलब क्या होता है, that you have got 3 kind of hemorrhages. hard We have got microaneurysms also, dots also and blots also. और hard to exudates and soft exudates को कैसे differentiate करेंगे, तो let me show you how to differentiate. Hard exudates smaller होंगे, soft exudates हमेशा large होते हैं, fluffy होंगे, whitish color के होंगे, and that is why they are also called as the cotton wool spots. That is why they are also called as the cotton wool spots. So if I show you, ये देखो, so you can see this image is there. These are the hard exudates. While if you see the soft exudates, so इसके comparison में जब आप soft exudates देखते हो, तो they are also larger हैं, fluffy होंगे और whitish color के होंगे. These are your soft exudates or the cotton wool spots. So this is how you can differentiate PR पार्मर. तो आप देखोगे कि ये बहुत डिफरेंट है देखने में. ब्यूफ्थल्मोस के कॉजेस कंजेनाइटल ग्लोकोमा है. वी हैव द कंजेनाइटल मालफॉर्मेशंस इन द एंगल ऑफ एंटीरियर चेम्बर. और स्प्रिंग कैटार और वीकेसी सेम होता है, ठीक है. और हार्ड एक्सुडेट्स एंड सॉफ्ट एक्सुडेट्स में पहली बात, दे विल नेवर से डायरेक्टली, कुछ ना कुछ हिंट देंगे. जैसे यहाँ पर दे हैव सेड दैट देयर इज अ ग्रेजुअल पेनलेस डिमिनिशन ऑफ विजन. हाइपरटेंशन में यूजुअली यू विल नॉट गेट डिमिनिशन ऑफ विजन. उसके बाद लुक एट द साइज ऑफ द एक्सुडेट्स, ये देखोगे और ये देखोगे तो बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस मिलेगा. जो लार्ज वाले होते हैं वो सॉफ्ट एक्सुडेट्स होते हैं यूजुअली इन हाइपरटेंशन. ठीक है, अभी समझ में आ गया. चल आगे चलते हैं. नाउ वी आर हैविंग दिस. ये क्वेश्चन तो आज मैंने मॉर्निंग में स्पॉट डायग्नोसिस में भी शेयर किया था. द गिवन डिफेक्ट, तो यही यूज है. डेली आई एम शेयरिंग वन क्विज क्वेश्चन, तो वो सब पीवाईक्यूज होते हैं और इसीलिए हर क्वेश्चन मैंने बहुत बहुत बार भी डिस्कस किया हुआ है, वर्कबुक में भी दिखाया हुआ है, उससे रिलेटेड इमेजेस दिखाए हुए हैं, so that at the nth time ये ना हो कि you are getting the images for the first time, you are seeing the PYQs for the first time. और ये भी आता है ना, we have done this in the class also topic wise. daily हम quiz में भी कर रहे हैं, daily we are seeing the spot diagnostic image also. तो अब ये देखो, there is a absence of tissue, तो this will be coloboma. coloboma कहाँ का हो जाएगा, of the upper eyelid, due to which we can have exposure keratitis or the exposure केरेटोपैथी. ये सबको पता है, एब्सेंस देख सकते हो. नाउ इससे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन, एक्सपोजर केरेटोपैथी कैन अकर इन विच नर्व palsy? It can occur in which nerve palsy? So this can occur in the nerve palsy when I am not able to close the eye. When you are not able to close the eye, the muscle is orbicularis. It is the orbicularis oculi muscle, and this muscle is supplied by the facial nerve. मैंने टेलीग्राम पे भी शेयर किया और इंस्टा पर भी शेयर किया है फातिमा, दोनों पे ही मैंने शेयर किया था. So here we are having the orbicularis oculi muscle palsy, which is found in the facial nerve, and this is also called as the neuroparalytic keratitis. This is also called as the neuroparalytic keratitis. ये देखो, ये भी directly from our notes है. History of trauma with a chisel and hammer. Chisel and hammer होता है iron. Iron is magnetic foreign body है. So we are having injury with the magnets, and it's entering into the eye. So what investigation will be detrimental? Which investigation you should not do? So it will be the MRI. MRI you should not do, and therefore the CT scan will be the investigation of choice. Exudates in which layers? So if I talk about the soft exudates, they are present in the nerve fiber layer, and if I talk about the hard exudates, they are present in outer plexiform layer. Right. Then the next one. What is the characteristic feature of fungal ulcer? Fungal ulcer में you have the satellite lesions. Dendritic ulcers we have talked about in herpes simplex हो गया. Ring abscess is found in acanthamoeba. ठीक है. And white means sterile hypopyon. Sterile hypopyon is found in bacteria. Sterile hypopyon is found in bacteria. ठीक है ना? So you know that whenever we have the viral ulcers, you will have decreased corneal sensations, you will have dendritic ulcers, herpes zoster में pseudodendritic थे, ring abscess है, ring infiltrate है, this is found in acanthamoeba. Acanthamoeba में we will also get the radial keratoneuritis. Try to complete remaining questions on ophthalmology next series that you have before inset. इसका क्या मतलब हुआ? Radial keratoneuritis. Don't spam the comment sections, please. Don't spam. And fungal ulcers are again important है. Usually we get questions. Fungal ulcers के लिए you have to remember that here we have the hyphae. We have the finger-like projections or hyphae hai, and these hyphae are penetrating the hypopyon. So their hypopyon will be non-sterile. So no microbial invasion. Somebody has asked me what is sterile. Sahana, sterile means there is no microbial invasion in the exudates. That is a sterile hypopyon. Sterile hypopyon is found in bacterial ulcers because there we do not have the hyphae. Fungal may we have the hyphae. Therefore, microbial invasion is present. Therefore, it is non-sterile and non-mobile. Therefore, it's non-sterile, non-mobile है. Signs are greater than the symptoms है. Plus history of vegetative trauma. हिस्ट्री ऑफ वेजिटेटिव ट्रॉमा भी होगा. प्लांट मटेरियल हो सकता है, एनिमल मटेरियल हो सकता है ना. दिस इज ऑल देयर. उसके अलावा मोस्ट कॉमन फंगस इज द एस्परजिलस. मोस्ट कॉमन फंगस रहता है एस्परजिलस, एंड ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ चॉइस इज द नेटामाइसिन. ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ चॉइस विल बी द नेटामाइसिन. Then again, this I have told you so many times, which vitamin in the supraphysiological doses will cause macular edema, macular cyst. This is the niacin. Niacin toxicity can cause the cystoid macular edema. Cystoid macular edema. Cystoid macular edema में fluid collection will take place in outer plexiform layer and the inner nuclear layer. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you. डॉक्टर अजीत, ये हमारे हाथ में नहीं है, ये PYQs है, तो जो भी PYQs आए हैं हम वो कर रहे हैं। चाहे आपको आसान लग रहा है तो और भी अच्छी बात है ना, और अगर FMG वाला लग रहा है तो भी अच्छी बात है, क्योंकि ये नीट PG PYQ है, मैंने नहीं बनाए हैं। हम प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस नहीं कर रहे हैं, PYQs कर रहे हैं, तो जो भी आ चुके हैं वही क्वेश्चंस हमें करने हैं। लुक एट द हेडिंग ऑफ द सेशन। Cystoid macular edema में outer plexiform layer and inner nuclear layer में there is a collection of fluid. Outer plexiform layer is the Henle's layer, and Henle's layer में we have the petaloid fibers. Petal like fibers होते हैं, इसीलिए we are getting the flower petal appearance. Therefore, we are getting the flower petal appearance in the cystoid macular edema. Flower petal appearance. Then, what is a prerequisite for sympathetic ophthalmitis? So we have already discussed, it was a penetrating trauma or the perforating trauma. Sympathetic ophthalmitis we have discussed as a whole also, right? Then yeah, now which layer of the cornea will help in maintaining the hydration? Hydration means it is the metabolic activity, and metabolically active layer of the cornea is the endothelium. So answer here will be the endothelium. We have got the 6 layers of the cornea. 6 layers of the cornea, that is A for anteriorly we have epithelium. Then is the B for the Bowman's membrane. B for Bowman's membrane, then C for connective tissue stroma. We have connective tissue stroma, and then we have the pre-D, that is pre-Descemet's membrane, which is also called as the Duas layer. Pre-Descemet's membrane or the Duas layer hai, then D for Descemet's membrane, and finally E for endothelium. E for endothelium. So here you can see Bowman's membrane is acellular and it cannot regenerate. Stroma is the thickest layer. Stroma is the thickest. Duas is the toughest. This is the toughest. Descemet's membrane was previously the toughest, and endothelium is the vital layer responsible for the metabolic activity. Yes, corneal endothelium comes from neural crest. Very correct, cocaine. Then ये देखो, extra layer. If I am having extra layer of eyelashes, that means I will have 2 rows. 2 rows of eyelashes will be called as the distichiasis. While tylosis means we will have the thickening of the lid margins. Thickening of the lid margins is called as tylosis. Madarosis में we have loss of eyelashes. And trichiasis में we have the rubbing of eyelashes. If we have the rubbing of eyelashes over the cornea, rubbing of eyelashes over the cornea is called as the trichiasis. Then the next question, a patient is coming with the unilateral proptosis and bilateral six-nerve palsy. Now, this is a tricky question. They are coming up with the unilateral proptosis, but there is a bilateral six-nerve palsy. Six-nerve palsy can take place with the cavernous sinus thrombosis. Cavernous sinus say which structures are passing through the cavernous sinus. Cavernous sinus के center से we can see and through the lateral wall. Through the center and through the lateral wall. Ma'am, most common tumor in the eyelid. Beta, most common tumor in the eyelid is not basal cell carcinoma. Most common malignant tumor of the eyelid is the basal cell carcinoma. Most common benign is the papillomas. And obviously benign tumors are more common than the malignant tumors. Centered say we have the sixth nerve and we have the internal carotid artery. Lateral wall से 3, 4 and the fifth का first and the second division हो जाएगा. Fifth का first and second division. So this sixth nerve can be involved. When we have this cavernous sinus thrombosis, it starts with the unilateral and it becomes bilateral in 50% of the cases. Now because sixth nerve is first to get involved, therefore you can get the diplopia, which is in the lateral gaze. Diplopia you are going to get in the lateral gaze first. And if you look at the pathognomic sign in the cavernous sinus thrombosis is the mastoiditis. It is the mastoiditis. This is how you can differentiate the cavernous sinus thrombosis if we have mastoiditis. Then also we know shifting fluid sign. Shifting fluid sign is seen in the exudative retinal detachment because exudative may we have the collection. So this collection can be there of the fluid. It can be any exudates also. Okay, some dynamic collection, or it can be the tumor cells. So whenever we have the collection within the layers of the retina, so when the patient is moving, the fluid will also move. That is called as the shifting fluid sign. Shifting fluid sign is seen in the exudative retinal detachment. Rhegmatogenous mein to you will have the retinal hole, and in cases of tractional we have the fibrous tissue. Therefore the shifting fluid sign is seen in cases of exudative retinal detachment. Then the next one. Now this somebody was asking me in the morning also. We have done this in the class. Esotropia. Esotropia is found in the hyperopia. Hyperopia is the hypermetropia. Hyperopia is the hypermetropia. Hypermetropes have a diminution of vision for the near, and therefore they will converge more to look for the near things. That is why they have a tendency of convergent squint. Myopes have a diminution of vision for the distant objects, therefore they will diverge more and they have a tendency of divergent kind of squint. That is the difference between the two. One has the convergent squint, one has a tendency of divergent squint. Okay. Then photo stress test. Photo stress test is used to differentiate between the macular diseases and the optic nerve diseases. The thing is that we are putting light, है ना? And what will happen due to the light? There will be the bleach in the retina. There will be bleach in the retina, color will go, and this will take some time to come back. Now, if it is optic nerve disease, this will be normal, while in the macular diseases, it will be affected. So that is how we can differentiate between a macular disease and optic nerve disease. Other thing, you can also see the colors, like in the macular diseases, it is the blue and yellow color blindness. In optic nerve disease, it is the red and the green color blindness. Another thing that we can use is also the Amsler grid test. We can also use the Amsler grid test to differentiate between the two. In the macula, you will get the wavy pattern, and in the optic nerve disease, we will get the missing lines. Here we will get the missing lines. ठीक है. So I hope you are understanding. Now I am describing you the topics also, so that even if one more session is not done, you are able to know the topics, right? Next question है, we are having the incongruous homonymous amyotropia along with the Wernicke's reaction. So here you have two things by which you know the answer. First of all, you have incongruous type. Incongruous is always found in the optic tract, plus Wernicke's reaction is again a characteristic of the optic tract. Therefore, the answer is optic tract. Visual cortex में it is congruous. Optic radiations में we will have the pi in the sky or the pi in the floor. You will not have the Wernicke's reaction also. Optic nerve में we will have ipsilateral blindness on the side of lesion, and contralateral we will have the normal vision. So you will not have the blindness on both the sides. If we are having the optic nerve lesion, you will have blindness only on one side. Optic radiations में pie in the sky, pie in the floor है. Visual cortex में congruous type का हो गया. Optic tract में it is incongruous, and also we are getting the Wernicke's reaction. Then we are having a 65-year-old male who is coming with diabetes and hypertension with oh, thank you for suggesting me. With the diplopia and the squint. And on examination, the secondary deviation is more than primary deviation. Now, directly, अगर secondary deviation more than primary deviation है, that means it's a paralytic squint. And comitant में comitant में primary deviation is equal to the secondary deviation. Pseudo squint में there will be no deviation. And और restrictive squint में भी maybe there is no palsy, है ना? So here only there is a restriction. So restrictive squint may see when we are having diplopia, there will be no palsy and therefore no diplopia. So when we are saying that the secondary deviation is more than the primary deviation, that and we have diplopia also, that means it's a paralytic variety of squint. Plus they have confirmed this by saying that secondary deviation is more. So 100% it's a case of paralytic squint. Plus if you have if they are talking about the paralytic squint and the restrictive kind of squint, so agar there would have been confusion, then they would have also told you about the force reduction test. Force reduction test jo hoga, that will be uh, that is positive in the restrictive squint, and it will be negative positive in cases of the restrictive squint. डिप्लोपिया, जो ट्रू डिप्लोपिया होता है, दैट इज सीन ओनली इन द पैरालिटिक स्क्विंट. ये कौन बताएगा? द मूवमेंट इज लॉस्ट इन, ये नोज हो गई. मूवमेंट है ये समथिंग लाइक दिस एंड लाइक दिस. सो इट इज एलिवेशन इन द एडक्शन. अब सब लोग पीवाईक्यू छोड़ के मेरा नेकलेस डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक, राइट? So it's good, but please focus on PYQs too. So elevation है. अब ये समझो, इट्स नॉट सुपीरियर ऑब्लिक. सुपीरियर ऑब्लिक का फंक्शन क्या होता है? सुपीरियर ऑब्लिक कॉजेस डिप्रेशन इन एडक्शन. This is elevation. Therefore it is inferior oblique, and we know all three SO4 and the LR6. So inferior oblique is supplied by, therefore inferior oblique is supplied by third nerve. So it's not B. ये सबसे important चीज ये है, इसका आंसर बी नहीं है, इसका आंसर ए है, बिकॉज दे आर सेइंग कि मूवमेंट इज लॉस्ट इन। मूवमेंट क्या है इसमें? मूवमेंट है एलिवेशन इन एडक्शन, और एडक्शन में कौन से मसल्स काम करते हैं? ऑब्लिक मसल्स। एलिवेशन है ओ फॉर ओब्लिक, ओ फॉर ऑपोजिट, तो इंफीरियर ऑब्लिक एलिवेशन करेगा, सुपीरियर ऑब्लिक डिप्रेशन करेगा, इसीलिए इसका आंसर थर्ड नर्व पल्सी है, नॉट सुपीरियर ऑब्लिक। प्लीज। थैंक यू सो मच गाइस, आई एम रियली हम्बल्ड। इतनी अच्छा ऑडियंस, इतने अच्छे स्टूडेंट्स, एंड दे आर नोटिसिंग मी लाइक एनीथिंग, तो उससे ज्यादा अच्छा कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता। बट द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल थिंग इज दैट यू आर रिस्पॉन्डिंग सो मच, है ना, और हम लोग इतने अच्छे से रिवाइज कर रहे हैं। दैट इज द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल पार्ट ऑफ द सेशन। तो ये क्वेश्चन सबके समझ में आया? तो इसमें क्या है, आई पहले एडक्शन में जा रही है और फिर एलिवेशन कर रही है ऑब्लिक। अभी समझ में आ गया गाइस? नेक्स्ट, इस क्वेश्चन को भी ध्यान से समझना, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है अगेन, ठीक है। थायराइड आई डिजीज, इसमें उन्होंने बोला है कि वी आर हैविंग अ मिडिल एज की विमेन विद द बाइलेटरल प्रोप्टोसिस है, रेस्ट्रिक्टेड ऑक्यूलर मूवमेंट्स है, किमोसिस है, लेकिन सबसे बड़ी चीज क्या है? यूथायरॉइड। अब इस यूथायरॉइड की वजह से एवरीबडी एट दैट टाइम आल्सो मार्क समथिंग अदर, जैसे कि थ्यूडोट्यूमर्स और एनी अदर थिंग, बट नॉट थायराइड। गाइस, you have to remember कि 6% of the patients who are having the thyroid eye disease can also be euthyroid, 4% hypothyroid भी हो सकते हैं। So don't think कि अगर hypothyroid है, euthyroid है, then it cannot be thyroid eye disease। तब भी आंसर thyroid ऑफ्थेल्मोपैथी ही रहेगी, तब भी आंसर थायराइड आई डिजीज ही रहेगा, बिकॉज लुक एट द रिस्क फैक्टर्स, मिडिल एज भी है, विमेन भी है ना, रिस्ट्रिक्शन भी है, फाइब्रोसिस है, देयरफॉर आंसर इज थायराइड आई डिजीज ओनली। ऑर्बिटल सेल्यूलाइटिस तो चिल्ड्रन में होती है, यूनिलैटरल प्रोप्टोसिस, यूनिलैटरल प्रोप्टोसिस इन दी चिल्ड्रन, यूनिलैटरल प्रोप्टोसिस इन चिल्ड्रन। हाँ, वो मैं कंप्लीट करने की कोशिश करती हूँ, I will try to complete them, लेकिन the same thing we are doing here also, I think that is one and the same thing. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, ये हम डायरेक्टली एंटीग्लूकोमा ड्रग्स में करती भी है। विच एंटीग्लूकोमा ड्रग कैन कॉज हाइपोटेंशन है, एपनिया है? दिस इज द ब्रिमोनिडीन। ब्रिमोनिडीन इज अ न्यूरोप्रोटेक्टिव ड्रग, न्यूरोप्रोटेक्टिव ड्रग है, एंड ऑल्सो अ सीएनएस डिप्रेसेंट, न्यूरोप्रोटेक्टिव ड्रग है, सीएनएस डिप्रेसेंट है, विच कैन कॉज एपनिया, इट कैन ऑल्सो कॉज ड्राउजीनेस, एंड दैट इज वाई इट इज कॉन्ट्राइंडिकेटेड इन द इन्फेंट्स, है ना। तो होल ऑफ द एंटी ग्लोकोमा ड्रग्स इंपॉर्टेंट रहती हैं, वो मैं हमेशा क्लास में भी बताती हूँ। ट्राइड ऑफ द ओपन एंगल ग्लोकोमा एंड द एंटी ग्लोकोमा ड्रग्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट। ये मैंने बता दिया था अभी, कीमोथेरेपी फॉर द रेटिनोब्लास्टोमा, दिस वी हैव डन, विनक्रिस्टीन, कार्बोप्लेटिन, एटोपोसाइड। Angle subtended by largest alphabet on the Snellen's chart at a distance of 60 meters. यहीं से हमारी क्लास स्टार्ट होती है। I hope you remember, largest मतलब 6/60 letter. How much angle it is making at the 60? एक्चुअली क्या है कि यहाँ पे इन्होंने 60 पूछा है, लेकिन मेन एग्जाम में 6 मीटर्स पूछा था, तो दे आर आस्किंग एट 60 मीटर्स। 60 मीटर्स पे तो 5 मिनट्स ही होगा, बिकॉज इट मेक्स 5 मिनट्स at the respective distance. It is making an angle of 5 minutes at the respective distance, so it will make 5 minutes at a distance of 60 meters. Now if they ask you if they will make 5 minutes at the 60 meters, what if they ask you at 6 meters, है ना, वो main question होता है. तो if we are coming closer to the letter, the angle will increase. कितना increase करेगा? How much we are coming closer by the same factor. तो अगर हम 60 से 6 पे आ रहे हैं, that means we are coming closer by 10 times. Therefore, angle will increase by the 10 times. Therefore, angle will also increase by 10 times. तो answer हो जाएगा 50 minutes. This is how we can do the question. Drugs which are used in the acute congestive glaucoma. Drugs which are used in acute congestive glaucoma. Obviously, atropine is contraindicated है. You will not use pilocarpine. Drug of choice होगा. Acetazolamide is the first drug to be used. Therefore, answer to this question is B and C. Therefore, answer to this question is B and the C. Then see this, a 3-year-old child is coming with the drooping of upper eyelid. So this is a question on ptosis है. Palpebral aperture 6 mm है. Palpebral aperture means we are having this distance between upper lid and the lower eyelid. तो जो normal होता है that is 10 to 12 mm. And this patient is having 6 mm. तो इसका मतलब बाकी का it is covered by the eyelid. ये था normally 10 to 12 है due to the ptosis. Now this is 6. Therefore, ptosis कितना हो गया इस पेशेंट में? Ptosis is 4 to 6 mm. 4 to 6 is the severe ptosis, and also we are having the poor levator function. Therefore, answer will be the frontalis sling operation. So, how to find out what is the amount of the ptosis? उसके अलावा poor levator function भी है. Therefore, the answer is the frontalis sling operation. Most common ocular finding in the myasthenia gravis is the ptosis. Now you have to remember that whenever we have ptosis due to the ocular myasthenia gravis, there are 3 important characteristics. One, first of all, one is the variability. Variability during the day. Variability होगा during the day. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Then asymmetrical होगा. It is also asymmetrical between the two eyes, and then also we have easy fatigability. Always look for these 3 things whenever the ptosis is due to these 3 things. It is due to the myasthenia gravis. Very, very important. Visual disturbance in the following condition. So again, an important one. This is the pterygium. Pterygium will cause the uneven surface, and uneven surface therefore can lead to the astigmatism. Answer is the astigmatism. Ptosis की surgeries. बेटा ptosis की surgery simple है. We can have the mild ptosis, we can have moderate ptosis, we can have severe ptosis. Mild ptosis में we have 2 mm drooping, here we have 3 mm drooping, here we have 4 or more than 4 mm drooping. तो mild ptosis के लिए we can do the Fasenella Servet operation. Fasenella Servet operation कर सकते हैं. Moderate के लिए we can do the levator resection. Levator resection कर सकते हैं. And severe के लिए frontalis sling operation. इसके लिए frontalis sling operation. ठीक है. Identify the instrument. This you can see is a Maddox rod. Rather, this is a double Maddox rod. So that is more appropriate, but here we do not have this in the options. If options में होगा, then this is a double Maddox rod. Double Maddox rod is used for the cyclodeviations. Double Maddox rod is used for the cyclodeviations. Now see this question. This is a normal eye, you can see. This is having the squint, and we have covered the normal eye. Now what is the name of the test where we covered the normal eye? This is called as direct cover test. Where you cover the normal eye, this test is called as direct cover test, and that is not in the option. Therefore answer is none of the above. Therefore answer is none. Maddox rod है नहीं यहाँ पर, आप देख सकते हो. This is a occluder here, and therefore it's not a Maddox rod. Occlusion test, there is nothing called as occlusion test. And cover uncover test हम करते हैं for the latent squint. Here it is a manifest squint. Therefore answer is none. ठीक है? Why the answer is none? Have you understood? Esotropia is seen in this. We have done esotropia is seen in the hypermetropia. Esotropia is seen in the hypermetropia. Which of the following will be given for simple and myopic astigmatism? Simple है. Simple मतलब one of the prescription should be 0. Myopic मतलब another should be minus. So 1 0 1 minus. Astigmatism means degrees. At any particular degree we have to give. Now look at the first one. It is spherical. So this is not the astigmatism. This is also spherical, not the astigmatism. Now here you have to see minus and minus. Both are minus. So this is compound myopic astigmatism. While here you have only one minus. Therefore this is a simple myopic astigmatism. One meridian is 0 and one is minus. That is simple myopic. Here we are having both minus. This also and this also. Therefore it is a compound myopic. Therefore it's a compound myopic. Most common cause of proptosis in adults. This we have done. Thyroid eye disease is the most common cause of proptosis in the adults. Now see this. This is a 50-year-old male who is coming with the blurring of vision, photophobia, conjunctival redness है, dilated pupil है, and shallow anterior chamber. They have been treated both medically and surgically. So surgery has been done, but there is no improvement. So now they are giving the device to aid the drainage. This is called as the glaucoma drainage device. To aid the drainage, this is called as the glaucoma drainage device. And glaucoma drainage device may we have got two. One is the Ahmed glaucoma valve. This is made up of latex. And one is the express, which is made up of the stainless steel. This is made up of stainless steel. Here you can see this one is the express mini shunt. So answer is the express mini shunt here because it is made up of the stainless steel. And what is the name of this surgery, guys? Name of this surgery is called as the Seton surgery. Name of this surgery is called as the Seton surgery. Next question, we are having a lady 2 days after the cataract surgery, and you can see something like this. This is a hypopyon, and hypopyon after the cataract surgery means that the baby is having the bacterial endophthalmitis. That means the baby is having the bacterial endophthalmitis. Beta, how to find out the paralyzed muscle? They will tell you something now that the patient is not able to do this movement. So whatever is the action of that muscle, patient will not be able to do that. This is how you will find out. Bacterial endophthalmitis के लिए what you have to do is the intravitreal antibiotics. After the cataract surgery, if you are having this hypopyon, that means it's a case of bacterial endophthalmitis. And bacterial endophthalmitis के लिए the first thing that you have to do is the intravitreal antibiotics, not the steroids. Steroids देते हैं after covering, after the maintaining the infection. Once you have controlled the infections, then you will give the steroids. Patching is obviously contraindicated. Mannitol is not required here. Then yoke muscle for the dextroversion. So when I want to see towards the dextroversion, right के side देखना है, then it is the right collateral rectus and we have the left ka medial rectus. Answer will be left medial rectus. Now, whenever we want to find out the yoke muscles, what you have to do? Just write the, so like we have dextro elevation, dextro depression, then we have levo elevation and levo depression. Okay? So what you have to do? You have to just write the rectus muscle. Dextro है तो right, dextro है तो right. Levo के लिए I will write the left and levo के लिए I will write the left. Now elevation, which rectus will elevate? Superior rectus, and which rectus will depress is inferior rectus. Here also superior rectus and inferior rectus. Now when I want to find out its yoke muscle, you have to just flip the muscle. You have to just flip this extraocular muscle. So it is left inferior oblique. राइट के लिए लेफ्ट, सुपीरियर के लिए इंफीरियर, रेक्टस के लिए ऑब्लिक. यहाँ पर भी लेफ्ट के लिए राइट, सुपीरियर के लिए इंफीरियर, रेक्टस के लिए ऑब्लिक. राइट के लिए लेफ्ट, इंफीरियर के लिए सुपीरियर, रेक्टस के लिए ऑब्लिक. लेफ्ट के लिए राइट, इंफीरियर के लिए सुपीरियर एंड रेक्टस के लिए ऑब्लिक. सो इन दिस वे यू कैन फाइंड आउट द योक मसल डायरेक्टली विदाउट हैविंग एनी कंफ्यूजन. डायरेक्टली हम फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं. आर यू गेटिंग दिस? Just flip the muscle and find out the yoke muscle. Last to go, this we have done. I had told you whole of the visual field defects ka order. Last to go was the temporal visual field. This we have done. In a 50-year emetropic patient, what is the presbyopic correction? So it is like 40 to 45, then 46 to 50, 51 to 55 and 56 to 60. Okay, we can start with +1, then plus 1.5 to plus 2 you can use, plus 2.5 to plus 3 and plus 3.5 to plus 4. This is approximate. So he is asking for 50 years. So we can give from 1.5 to 2 and you should always give the minimum correction. But they have not given you the minimum correction. That is why we can go with plus 2. Because they have not given the minimum correction, then we can go with the plus 2. Lekin if they would have given 1.5, then that would have been a better answer. Now third nerve palsy. Third nerve palsy mein ideally the reflexes should be absent, but it is a case of diabetes. Therefore, both are normal. Because in the diabetes, we get the pupillary sparing. In the diabetes, we get the pupillary sparing. This is called as the pupillary sparing third nerve palsy. So in cases of diabetes, we get the pupillary sparing. Both the reflexes are present. So answer will be both are normal. 100-day glaucoma. This is a direct question. 100-day glaucoma is found in the CRVO. This we know it is a kind of the neovascular glaucoma. This is a kind of the neovascular glaucoma, 100-day glaucoma. Now, 2018 में both the questions had come, most serious also and most common also. So you have to remember it. Most serious is the gonococcus. Chlamydia will be most common. इसमें कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं होना चाहिए. Many of the platforms में शायद the answer has been given opposite by mistake. So most serious is gonococcal and most common is chlamydia. There should not be any confusion, है ना. लाइव बता रही हूँ मैं, यही रहेगा. मोस्ट कॉमन वॉल ऑफ ऑर्बिट इन्वॉल्व इन ब्लो आउट फ्रैक्चर. आई थिंक इससे इजी कुछ नहीं हो सकता. यहीं से हम लोग अपना लेक्चर स्टार्ट करते हैं ऑर्बिट में. सो इट इज द floor or the inferior wall. Floor or the inferior wall. And what is the investigation of choice? Investigation of choice will be the X-ray orbit with the Waters view. X-ray orbit, Waters view. And the sign is called as the teardrop sign. Sign is called as the teardrop sign. Most common, I have just told you, most common is chlamydia. Most common is chlamydia. Most serious is gonococcus. Here you can see this one is a Roth spot. Roth spots are found in the leukemias as well as the subacute bacterial endocarditis. Roth spots are found in the subacute bacterial endocarditis. D किसका आंसर क्लैमाइडिया के लिए बता रहे हो ना? Roth spots are found in the bacterial endocarditis as well as leukemias. Simple myopic astigmatism. Simple myopic astigmatism के लिए again what are the things I require? I require one plane and one minus. Simple means one plane and myopic means one minus. Spherical is not astigmatism. Spherical is not astigmatism. And when you are getting this, so it will be compound. है ना? So either both minus or both plus is also compound. One plane and one minus. That is simple myopic astigmatism. C किसका आंसर बता रहे हो भाई लोगों? C नहीं है इसका आंसर. It is spherical. Spherical is not astigmatism. Spherical is never astigmatism. Only cylindricals are astigmatism. So with this we have completed all the PYQs, guys. I hope you have understood. I have tried to tell you about the topics also which are expected in the upcoming examination. What are the important things related to it? Please read the topics also as a whole, because question ग्लोकोमा नहीं बताया क्या नहीं बताया ग्लोकोमा में? क्या स्पेसिफिकली बोलोगे कि क्या नहीं बताया तो वो मैं डिस्कस कर सकती हूँ, है ना? लास्ट क्वेश्चन. सिंपल एंड मायोपिक है. सिंपल मतलब जीरो और प्लेन कह सकते हैं. मायोपिक मतलब माइनस साइन. तो वेर एवर यू हैव द प्लेन एज वेल एज माइनस, वो हो गया सिंपल मायोपिक. किसी को भी कुछ भी पूछना है तो प्लीज स्पेसिफिक बताओ, क्योंकि पूरा टॉपिक या पूरा एज अ होल पढ़ाना ऑब्वियसली इज बियॉन्ड द लिमिट स्कोप ऑफ दिस सेशन. लेकिन यू आर ऑलवेज वेलकम, है ना? जो तो इसलिए उसको बहुत ही स्पेसिफिक रखो, क्रिस्प एंड कंसाइज. इस जो होल मोटिव था इसका वो यही था कि हम इसको क्रिस्प रखें, इसको कंसाइज रखें, एंड वी आर रिवाइजिंग ऑल द पीवाईक्यूज के टॉपिक्स और उनसे रिलेटेड इंपॉर्टेंट इमेजेस, एंड जो हम और प्रिडिक्ट कर सकते हैं कि इससे रिलेटेड और क्या आ सकता है वो भी हमने बात करा. अच्छा, उसके अलावा व्हाट यू आर सेइंग इनकॉमिटेंट एंड कॉमिटेंट. देखो, एक हो गया आपका कॉमिटेंट और एक हो गया इनकॉमिटेंट. तो कॉमिटेंट जो होता है दैट इज द नॉन पैरालिटिक काइंड ऑफ स्क्विंट है, जहां पे पैरालिसिस नहीं है. इनकॉमिटेंट इज पैरालिटिक. तो सबसे पहला डिफरेंस समझो कि वन वन इज नॉन पैरालिटिक एंड वन इज पैरालिटिक, जहां पे पालसी नहीं है. therefore there is no ocular limitation. There is no ocular limitation, but here it is present. तो जब ocular motility limited ही नहीं है, इसीलिए primary deviation is equal to secondary deviation. Paralysis है, palsy है, तो squint eye में, paralyzed eye में motility limited होती है, इसीलिए secondary deviation is more than primary deviation. This is the main idea. जो होता है सिट्रेलिन, उसके अलावा और क्या पूछना चाहते हो, है ना? व्हेन वी हैव द पैरालिटिक स्क्विंट, डिप्लोपिया ऑब्वियसली बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। नाउ दिस डिप्लोपिया कैन बी ऑफ टू टाइप्स। इट कैन बी क्रॉस डिप्लोपिया, एक अनक्रॉस डिप्लोपिया हो सकता है। क्रॉस डिप्लोपिया डाइवर्जेंट स्क्विंट में होगा, अनक्रॉस्ड वाला डिप्लोपिया कन्वर्जेंट स्क्विंट में होता है। अब जो इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक वाला सेशन है, अभी मुझे नहीं पता कि वो अलग से होगा या नहीं होगा, इसीलिए रिमेनिंग टॉपिक्स वो मैंने सारे अभी के अभी भी डिस्कस कर दिए है ना। तो अगर एक और सेशन हो जाता है इट्स वेरी गुड, अदरवाइज आई हैव डिस्कस ऑल द टॉपिक्स हियर आल्सो, डोंट वरी अबाउट इट। एंड myopic which type generally we use? Lovely Dubey, myopic which type generally we use? I could not get your question. क्या पूछना चाह रहे हो वो मुझे समझ में नहीं आया। जिसको समझ में आया है you can give me फीडबैक। और ये सेशन यूजफुल है फॉर नीट पीजी, फॉर इनसेट एंड इवन फॉर एफएमजी एग्जामिनेशन, बिकॉज वी आस्क द एफएमजी स्टूडेंट्स टू डू दी नीट पीजी पीवाईक्यूज आल्सो, क्योंकि एफएमजी पीवाईक्यूज उतने अवेलेबल भी नहीं होते, प्लस नीट पीजी पीवाईक्यूज आर ऑलवेज हाई यील्ड फॉर एफएमजी एग्जामिनेशन। क्योंकि क्या होता है, डे बाय डे जो नीट पीजी वाले क्वेश्चंस है वो और टिपिकल हो जाएंगे, तो जो सिंपलर वाले हैं वो एफएमजी एग्जामिनेशन में आ सकते हैं। तो इवन एफएमजी स्टूडेंट्स कैन ऑल्सो सी, मैं इनसेट वाला नहीं बोलूंगी, डोंट लुक एट द इनसेट सेशन, लेकिन नीट पीजी वाले क्वेश्चंस आप कर सकते हो, तो उनके लिए भी इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। दूसरी बात, एक रिक्वेस्ट, जो जो भी मैंने हाई टॉपिक्स आपको बताए जो एक्सपेक्टेड हैं, अगर आपने कहीं पर भी नोट किए हैं तो फॉर द हेल्प ऑफ अदर्स ऑल्सो एंड फॉर यू ऑल्सो, आप वो लिस्ट यहाँ पर टाइप कर दे सकते हो या मुझे डीएम कर सकते हो, मैं वो कर दूंगी। ये आ रहा है सिंपैथेटिक ऑप्थेल्माइटिस, पाई इन द स्काई, पाई इन द, हाँ, मैकुलर स्पेयरिंग था, केराटोकोनस था, क्रूकेनबर्ग स्पिंडल्स था, इसमें चेरी रेड स्पॉट नहीं है, डायबिटिक रेटिनोपैथी नहीं है, ट्राइड ऑफ ओपन एंगल ग्लोकोमा नहीं है, वो भी मैंने बताया था। अच्छा, वो अलग से आ रहा है। तो ये वाले टॉपिक्स हैं। अगर हम शुरू से भी देखते हैं तो देखो, कैटरेक्ट में से मैंने बताया कि कैटरेक्ट वाला जो होता है ना, उसमें जो फैंसी नेम्स ऑफ द कैटरेक्ट होते हैं, यूजुअली वहां से क्वेश्चन आ जाता है। जैसे लास्ट टाइम विल्सन्स डिजीज से आया था, तो इस बार जो है वो उनमें से, जैसे कि कोई ट्रोमेटिक कैटरेक्ट है, गैलेक्टोसीमिया वाला कैटरेक्ट है, या ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट कैटरेक्ट है, एटॉपिक डर्मेटाइटिस है, जो फैंसी नेम्स ऑफ द कैटरेक्ट है वहां से आ सकता है। ग्लोकोमा में से एंटी ग्लोकोमा ड्रग्स एंड द ट्राइड ऑफ ओपन एंगल ग्लोकोमा बता दिया। उसके बाद अगर हम रेटिना की बात करते हैं, तो रेटिना में से डायबिटिक रेटिनोपैथी रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन है। उसके अलावा आपका एफएफए, जितने भी आपके एफएफए के इमेजेस हैं वो आ सकती हैं। चेरी रेड स्पॉट मैंने बता दिया। एक क्वेश्चन जो इस बार आ सकता है वो रिलेटेड टू रेटिनाइटिस पिगमेंटोसा आ सकता है, क्योंकि ये टॉपिक इस बार इंसेट वालों ने भी टच किया था, आरपी। तो आरपी वाला टॉपिक भी आप लोग कर सकते हो। तो एक अगर मैं बोलती हूँ तो फैंसी नेम्स ऑफ द कैटरेक्ट, चलो लिख लेते हैं इसको। फैंसी नेम्स ऑफ द कैटरेक्ट हो गया। नंबर 2, प्राइमरी ओपन एंगल ग्लोकोमा, मैंने पूरा ही लिख दिया, ट्राइड ऑफ ग्लोकोमा विद द एंटी ग्लोकोमा ड्रग्स। और नंबर 3 रेटिना पे चलते हैं। रेटिना में हो गया रेटिनाइटिस पिगमेंटोसा, डायबिटिक रेटिनोपैथी, एफएफए एंड चेरी रेड स्पॉट, ठीक है। फिर 4 चलते हैं यूवियाइटिस में। यूवियाइटिस पे इट इज द सिंपैथेटिक ऑप्थेल्माइटिस। सिंपैथेटिक ऑप्थेल्माइटिस, अब मैं सारे टॉपिक्स लिख रही हूँ, मुझे अब शेयर कर देना। नंबर 5, न्यूरो ऑफ्था में से विजुअल पाथवे डिफेक्ट्स, विजुअल पाथवे डिफेक्ट्स हो गया। और रिवाइज ट्रायड ऑफ ओपन एंगल ग्लोकोमा क्या था? ट्रायड ऑफ ओपन एंगल ग्लोकोमा नहीं पता? द रेज इंट्राओकुलर प्रेशर, ऑप्टिक डिस्क चेंजेस, विजुअल फील्ड इफेक्ट्स, वो सारा। फिर स्क्विंट है। स्क्विंट में द एक्शंस ऑफ द extraocular muscles and the paralytic squint. एक्शंस ऑफ द एक्स्ट्राक्युलर मसल्स एंड द पैरालिटिक स्क्विंट. अच्छा, एक बात और, इस बार इनसेट में भी यू हैव गॉट मोर नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस इन ऑफ्टर, तो प्रोबेबली नीट में भी ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस आएंगे जितने आते हैं हर बार. तो इसलिए ये मत सोचना कि ये तो सब में से ही बता रही है मैम. तो ऑब्वियसली अगर 14 15 16 क्वेश्चंस आएंगे तो हर टॉपिक में से एक एक आएगा ही आएगा, इसीलिए मैं हर टॉपिक में से बता रही हूँ. My question was that normally we wear glasses that are myopic. So which type of glasses are they if both eye power is -1? Then it is the minus diopter spherical. Diopter spherical है, अगर दोनों -1 है तो diopter spherical. अच्छा. अच्छा, विभू इम्पोर्टेंट इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स क्या है? तो जो इम्पोर्टेंट इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स हैं उसका तो मैंने एक सेपरेट वीडियो ऑलरेडी रिकॉर्ड कर रखा है, 1 आवर का वीडियो है और उसकी पीडीएफ मेरे टेलीग्राम ग्रुप पे पड़ी हुई है. तो अगर आप इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स के लिए इंटरेस्टेड हो तो आप उसे 2x में देखो, 30 मिनट्स में कंप्लीट हो जाएगी, पीडीएफ वहां से ले लो. ठीक है. उसके अलावा आपका केराटोकोनस है और क्रूकनबर्ग स्पिंडल्स है. केराटोकोनस हो गया और क्रूकनबर्ग स्पिंडल्स भी हो गया और स्क्विंट न्यूरो ऑफ द ऑप्टिक्स. ऑप्टिक्स में से वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट द क्वेश्चन रादर न्यूमेरिकल ऑन द एस्टिग्मेटिज्म और उसके अलावा कॉर्निया में से हमने ये बोल दिया. उसके अलावा कॉर्नियल अल्सर्स, स्पेशली दी कॉर्नियल अल्सर्स में से जो इन्फेक्टिव कॉर्नियल अल्सर्स होते हैं, बैक्टीरियल, वायरल, फंगल, एकांथेमीबा, वो हो सकता है. उसके अलावा कंजंक्टाइवा में चलते हैं. कंजंक्टाइवा में वीकेसी एंड द टेरिजियम. वीकेसी है, टेरिजियम है. Then one question from sclera will definitely come. One question from trauma will definitely come. और आईलिड डिफॉर्मिटी, आईलिड डिफॉर्मिटीज जरूर आ जाती है. ओ थैंक यू, लव फ्रॉम हैदराबाद, थैंक यू थैंक यू. एंड उसके अलावा क्या बच गया? लेक्राइमल अपरेटस में कंजेनाइटल डेक्रायोसिस्टाइटिस का ट्रीटमेंट कैन कम एंड प्रोप्टोसिस. प्रोप्टोसिस पर एक क्वेश्चन कैन डेफिनेटली कम. तो बहुत सारे बता दिए मैंने, 16 बता दिए, 16 क्वेश्चंस और टॉपिक्स ज्यादा है क्योंकि रेटिना से ज्यादा टॉपिक्स भी बताए थे. तो वी हैव डन ऑलमोस्ट ऑल द टॉपिक्स. कैटरैक्ट हो गया, ग्लोकोमा हो गया, रेटिना, यूवियाइटिस, न्यूरो ऑफ्था, स्क्वेंट, आईलिड्स है, लेक्राइमल अपरेटस है, आईलिड की डिफॉर्मिटीज हो गई. तो मैंने बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स बता दिए. आई थिंक this is all or I hope that you must have liked the session and you will be getting benefit. पीडीएफ as I told you before also कि माइक्रोसॉफ्ट में प्रॉब्लम आ रखी है, पीडीएफ नहीं बन रही है ना. आई डोंट हैव एनी प्रॉब्लम इन शेयरिंग द पीडीएफ, बट बननी भी चाहिए. पीडीएफ बन ही नहीं रही है, तो वो मैंने इसलिए स्टार्टिंग में ही बोल दिया था. ठीक है. स्क्लेरा में जो स्क्लेराइटिस है, स्टेफाइलोमास है, एपिस्क्लेराइटिस एंड स्क्लेराइटिस का डिफरेंस है, जितना मैं वर्कबुक में कराती हूँ, दैट इज ऑल दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड है ना. पार्क 3 स्टेप टेस्ट आई डोंट थिंक इसमें आएगा, तो आपको नहीं भी आता तो उसके लिए बहुत पैनिक की मत करना. इनसेट में ज्यादा चांसेस होते हैं उसके आने के. और इमेजेस बहुत अच्छे से कर लेना, बिकॉज इमेजेस हमेशा आती हैं. वही कोई बोल भी रहा था कि इमेज बेस्ड सेशन लग रहा है, तो इमेज बेस्ड सेशन ही लगेगा क्योंकि आती ही ज्यादातर इमेजेस हैं, क्वेश्चन उसके साथ ही आता है. ठीक है. डीडीज का बहुत अच्छे से ख्याल रखना. ऑल द डीडीज लिस्ट दैट यू हैव मेड इन द क्लास ऑल्सो, जो मैं लास्ट पेज पे बनवाती हूँ, लुक एट दोज. उसके बाद इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स, इंस्ट्रूमेंट जितने भी मैंने क्लास में कराए हैं कि रेटोमीटर, बायोमीटर, टोनोमीटर, कैम्पीमीटर, पैरीमीटर, पैकीमीटर, स्पैक्यूलर माइक्रोस्कोप है, पेंटाकेम है, कॉर्नियल टोपोग्राफी है, ये सारे के सारे इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स इंपॉर्टेंट हैं. कैटरेक्ट सर्जरी में केराटोम्स होता है, साइड पोर्ट ब्लेड होता है, क्रिसेंट नाइफ होती है. अगर मोस्ट 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 इंपॉर्टेंट करने हैं तो वो जो क्लास में कराए हैं दे आर मोर देन इनफ. बहुत सारे करने हैं तो अलग से वीडियो है, आप उसे देख सकते हो. यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम. उसके अलावा देखो वोलेटाइल है ऑफ द, है ना, तो वो आपको रिवाइज ही करना पड़ेगा बार बार। एंड उसके लिए क्या होगा कि जो टॉपिक्स आर मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू, आर मोस्ट वोलेटाइल फॉर यू, आप उसको एक अलग जगह ऐड कर लो, एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड एज 20th नोटबुक। तो यू हैव टू कीप ऑन रिवाइजिंग। अगर 20 टॉपिक्स मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट है आपके लिए, तो टेक दिस 20 days फॉर 20 टॉपिक्स एंड डेली रिवाइज वन। तो जब if you are revising the second topic today, तो फर्स्ट रिवाइज द प्रीवियस वन एंड देन लर्न द नेक्स्ट वन। उसके बाद नेक्स्ट डे में फर्स्ट रिवाइज द फर्स्ट टू एंड फिर रिवाइज द एंड लर्न द थर्ड वन। इस तरह से प्रीवियस को रिवाइज करते जाओ और नया वाला पढ़ते चले जाओ। ऐसे होगा, ऐसे नहीं है कि यू आर नॉट रिवाइजिंग द प्रीवियस वन और खाली आगे आगे का लर्न करोगे तो ऑब्वियसली पीछे वाला भूल जाओगे। भूलना नेचुरल टेंडेंसी है, प्लस जितना हमें लगता है कि हम भूल रहे हैं हम उतना नहीं भूलते, ये भी एक अच्छी बात है। हमें लगता है कि हम सब कुछ भूल गए, लेकिन हम सब कुछ नहीं भूलते हैं। जब आप क्वेश्चन देखोगे, उसका ऑप्शन देखोगे, आपने पढ़ा हुआ है तो वो आपको याद आ जाता है। लेकिन हाँ, रिवीजन 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 करते रहोगे, ठीक है। यस वाइब में होंगे, और वाइब में तो सारा अगेन मैं मिनी रिवीजन ही करा देती हूँ, क्योंकि सारी की सारी इमेजेस रहती हैं और इमेजेस से हम जो टॉपिक्स डिस्कस होते हैं उससे रिलेटेड वो भी उसमें आ जाते हैं। तो आई होप वी हैव डन एवरीथिंग। और किसी को कोई भी डाउट है तो दे कैन शेयर, हम उसके बारे में बात कर सकते हैं। देखो एंटी ग्लोकोमा ड्रग्स पूरा का पूरा डिस्कस करना ऑब्वियसली इज नॉट पॉसिबल, है ना। इट इज टेकिंग 30 minutes फॉर मी टू डिस्कस ऑल दी एंटी ग्लोकोमा ड्रग्स। तो ऑब्वियसली 2 hour के सेशन में हम 30 minutes एक पर्टिकुलर सेशन को दे ही नहीं सकते, एक पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक को नहीं दे सकते। तो होल आइडिया इज कि आपको सारे के सारे पीवाईक्यूज और जितने भी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स हैं उसकी मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट बातें हमने डिस्कस कर ली। अगर आपको कोई पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक पढ़ना है तो वो आप जाकर अपने नोट्स में से पढ़ सकते हो, अपने वीडियोस में से देख सकते हो, एंड देन यू कैन ऑलवेज कम बैक एंड आस्क मी कि ये डाउट है। एंड दोज स्टूडेंट्स हु हैव टेकन द क्लासेस फ्रॉम मी, या फिर जैसे भी मुझे जानते हो ना, सोशल मीडिया से जानते हो, क्लासेस से जानते हो, ऐप से जानते हो, वीडियो से जानते हो, तो यू मस्ट बी नोइंग कि आई ऑलवेज आंसर, है ना। तो आई एम द मोस्ट कंसिस्टेंट फैकल्टी जो आंसर कर रहा है। यू आर इन माई ग्रुप, यू आर ऑन DBMCI, यू आर नॉट देयर, बट इट्स इनफ फॉर मी कि आप एक स्टूडेंट हो एंड यू आर एन EPG एस्पिरेंट। तो आई ऑलवेज आंसर एंड आई विल ऑलवेज आंसर ऑनेस्टली, है ना। तो इवन इफ आई एम नॉट फीलिंग वेल और है उसके बीच में भी आई कीप ऑन आंसरिंग द थिंग्स, क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि हाउ मच स्ट्रेस इट फुल पीरियड इट इज फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स एंड हाउ मच इम्पोर्टेंट इट इज टू गिव द आंसर। तो क्लास भी मैं लेती रहती हूँ एंड आई कीप ऑन आंसरिंग सो दैट देर इज नो प्रॉब्लम। तो प्लीज कीप ऑन रिवाइजिंग, कीप ऑन शेयरिंग योर क्वेरीज, योर क्वेश्चंस, योर डाउट्स, दैट विल बी आंसर्ड, है ना। अनटिल एंड अनलेस मैं क्लास ही ले रही हूँ, नहीं तो ब्रेक में आई ऑलवेज कीप ऑन आंसरिंग दैट। और द थिंग इज कि जो भी आपको लगता है कि ये आप भूल रहे हो और इम्पोर्टेंट है, तो वो कहीं ना कहीं ऐड जरूर कर लो, वो कहीं ना कहीं मार्क जरूर कर लो, ताकि जस्ट आफ्टर बिफोर 1 week और 10 days बिफोर द एग्जाम एक बार उसको जरूर देख लोगे। डेली प्रैक्टिस ऑफ क्वेश्चन जरूर करना है। अब क्या है कि यू नो द थ्योरी, यू आर रिवाइजिंग थ्योरी अगेन एंड अगेन, बट यू डोंट हैव द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ डूइंग द क्वेश्चन, हाउ टू अप्लाई दिस थ्योरी इन द क्वेश्चन, तब भी प्रॉब्लम आती है। और जितना आप ज्यादा क्वेश्चन करते हो यू विल कम टू नो दैट हाउ टू सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन, है ना। स्पीड विल ऑल्सो इम्प्रूव, व्हाट आर द टेक्निकल डिफिकल्टीज, है ना, या फिर प्रैक्टिकल डिफिकल्टीज आती है क्वेश्चन करने में, कैसे कैसे क्वेश्चन आते हैं, हाउ टू अप्लाई दैट थ्योरी इनटू दैट, कैसे DD को अप्लाई करते हैं, कैसे रूल आउट करते हैं। तो ऑब्वियसली जितने ज्यादा क्वेश्चन करोगे उतना ज्यादा हेल्प होगी। लास्ट में आपको 200 करने हैं तो कम से कम अभी 100 तो करो, 150 तो करो, वरना ब्रेन जो होता है ना वो एकदम से सरप्राइज हो जाता है 200 देख के लास्ट डे पे। एंड जैसे हमें सरप्राइजेस पसंद नहीं है, ब्रेन को भी सरप्राइजेस पसंद नहीं होते हैं। तो आप ब्रेन को भी सरप्राइज मत करो, उसको आदत डलवाओ डेली डेली क्वेश्चन करने की, वो बहुत हेल्प करेगा, है ना। वो आपकी मर्जी है कि आप कहाँ से क्वेश्चन कर रहे हो। यू कैन ट्राई फ्रॉम एनी रिलायबल सोर्स से आप क्वेश्चन करो, एंड कोई भी डाउट होता है तो वी आर ऑलवेज देयर। सो थैंक यू सो मच गाइज, टेक केयर एंड विश यू ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट। हालांकि मैं तो अभी आती रहूंगी एंड वी विल विश यू एज अ टीम ऑल्सो, लेकिन टुडे अगेन आई एम सेइंग विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर योर प्रिपरेशन टाइम। मोस्ट स्ट्रेसफुल टाइम होता है, और जो भी इस स्ट्रेसफुल टाइम को है ना कूलली निकाल देता है। देखो इजी टाइम में सब इजी रहते हैं, इजी टाइम में सब हैप्पी रहते हैं, लेकिन जो स्ट्रेसफुल टाइम में चीयरफुल रहता है, पैनिक ही नहीं होता, कूल रहता है और कंसिस्टेंट रहता है। खाली कूल रहने से नहीं होगा, है ना। कंसिस्टेंसी इज द की। तो थोड़ा कर पा रहे हो थोड़ा करो, जिस दिन ज्यादा कर पा रहे हो उस दिन ज्यादा करो, लेकिन करते रहो। एक जगह पे नहीं खड़ा होना है। भागो, भाग नहीं पा रहे हो तो चलो, चल नहीं पा रहे हो तो क्रॉल करो, बट यू हैव टू मूव ऑन, मूव ऑन, मूव ऑन, है ना। अपनी ही जगह पे नहीं करना है। एंड जब हम ये सब करते रहेंगे तो डेफिनेटली कितना कितना ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता ना कि हम ट्राई करते जा रहे हैं, ट्राई करते जा रहे हैं और हो ही नहीं रहा। हम ट्राई कर देंगे, 100% नहीं होगा, 90 होगा, 80 होगा, लेकिन होगा जरूर। तो यू गिव योर बेस्ट। वो मत सोचो कि कितना होगा, वो एंजाइटी देता है कि उस दिन हमें कितना याद आएगा, उस दिन हम कितना कर पाएंगे, हमारा कोर्स कितना खत्म होगा, वो सब सोचना आपका काम नहीं है। आप सब करो, जितना कर सकते हो उतना करो। डेली जो है वो इफेक्टिव आवर्स निकालो, है ना। खाली बुक के आगे बैठे मत रहो, वो हम बहुत कर रहे हैं। इफेक्टिव पढ़ो। इफेक्टिव पढ़ने का मतलब ये है गोल डायरेक्टेड। आज मुझे इतना कंप्लीट करना है ना, जरूरी नहीं है कि इतने आवर्स ही पढ़े, लेकिन उतना जरूर कंप्लीट कर ले। क्वेश्चन की प्रैक्टिस हम डेली कर लेते हैं, और कम से कम दो सब्जेक्ट हमें डेली पढ़ना है। दो सब्जेक्ट्स मतलब एक स्मॉल एक लार्ज कर सकते हो, 3 स्मॉल सब्जेक्ट्स भी कंबाइन कर सकते हो। कंबाइन सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ने से जल्दी हो जाता है, बोर नहीं होते, और मोटिवेशनल भी होता है। हमें लगता है कि ये भी हो गया, ये भी हो गया, ये भी हो गया। एक ही सब्जेक्ट पढ़ने से लगता है अरे यही अभी तो ये भी नहीं हुआ, है ना। तो ऐसा है। इसीलिए मैं बोलती हूँ कि हमेशा कम से कम 2 सब्जेक्ट्स एक दिन में पढ़ो। थोड़ा अच्छे से डिवाइड कर लो, और उस टाइम को भी फर्दर डिवाइड कर लो कि इस टाइम में मैं इसकी थ्योरी पढ़ूंगा और इस टाइम में मैं इसके क्वेश्चंस करूंगा। क्वेश्चंस रेडी करते रहो, वो भी बहुत जरूरी है। और डेफिनेटली दीज थिंग्स विल हेल्प यू। सो ऑल द बेस्ट गाइस, टेक केयर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर पेशेंस, हैप्पी ऑफ्थेल्मोलॉजी, गुड बाय।